The fact that you're here right now watching these words appear on your screen, this isn't random. You might tell yourself it's just another video in your feed, another moment of scrolling through the endless stream of content. But something deeper is happening here, something your conscious mind hasn't quite caught up to yet. There's a part of you that already knows this, a part that recognized something in the title, something in the energy of this moment that made you click. That part of you, the part that exists beyond the noise of daily thinking, has been waiting for this exact convergence of timing, awareness, and possibility. The ancient mystics spoke of kairos, not chronological time, but the supreme moment, the right time, the opportune moment when the universe opens a door. Modern quantum physics tells us something remarkably similar through the observer effect. Reality responds to conscious observation, collapsing infinite possibilities into singular experience based on the quality of our attention. You are living inside one of those moments right now. But here's what most people never realize about synchronicity, about perfect timing, about those moments when exactly what you need appears exactly when you need it. They think it's magic. They think it's luck. They think it's some external force moving pieces around like a cosmic chess game. What they don't understand is that you've been creating this moment your entire life. Every experience you've had, every breakdown, every breakthrough, every quiet moment of questioning, every time you felt lost or confused or searching, all of it has been preparing your consciousness for this exact frequency of recognition. You haven't been wandering aimlessly through experience. You've been calibrating. The Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, who first coined the term synchronicity, understood something profound about the nature of meaningful coincidence. He realized that these moments don't happen to us. They happen through us. Our psyche, our deeper consciousness, begins to magnetize experiences that match our inner readiness for growth, for change, for awakening. Think about this for a moment. Really let it settle into your awareness. How many times in your life has the perfect book found its way into your hands just when you needed those exact insights? How many times has a stranger said precisely what you needed to hear? How many times has a door opened just as you were ready to walk through it, even if you didn't know you were ready? These aren't accidents. These are appointments. Your consciousness has been sending out signals, quantum requests, if you will, broadcasting your readiness for new understanding, and the field of infinite possibility has been responding, orchestrating circumstances, drawing you toward the experiences that will catalyze your next level of awareness. This video, this moment, this collision of your attention with these words, it's one of those orchestrated encounters. But let's go deeper into what's really happening here, because most people completely miss the mechanics of how perfect timing actually works. In quantum physics, there's a principle called quantum entanglement, the phenomenon where particles that have interacted remain mysteriously connected across any distance, instantly affecting each other, regardless of space and time. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance because it seemed to violate everything we thought we knew about how reality operates. Your consciousness works in a similar way. Once you've posed a question to the universe, once you've reached a certain threshold of readiness for new understanding, you become quantum entangled with the answers you need. Not metaphorically, literally. Your awareness becomes magnetically aligned with the information, people, and experiences that will serve your evolution. This is why you're watching this right now. Somewhere in your recent experience, you've been asking questions, maybe not with words, maybe not even consciously, but with the deeper intelligence of your being, questions about your purpose, about why certain patterns keep repeating in your life, about what it means to truly awaken, about how to break free from the cycles that no longer serve you. Your soul has been broadcasting these inquiries into the quantum field, and the field has been responding by guiding your attention toward the resources you need. The algorithm didn't randomly serve this video to you. Your consciousness drew it to you through the algorithm. There's something else happening here that most spiritual teachers won't tell you, something that reveals the true nature of why certain content finds you at exactly the right moment. You are not just consuming information right now. You are actively participating in a field of consciousness that extends far beyond your individual awareness. Every person who has ever watched this video, every person who has ever had a synchronistic moment, every person who has ever experienced that particular quality of recognition you're feeling right now, you're all connected in what quantum field theorists call a morphic field. This field holds the pattern of awakening itself. It carries the frequency of recognition, the vibration of spiritual breakthrough, the energetic signature of transformation. And by engaging with this content right now, by allowing these concepts to land in your awareness, you're not just learning about synchronicity, you're actively strengthening the field that makes synchronicity possible for everyone. Let that land for a moment. Pause and breathe into that. You are not separate from the very phenomenon you're learning about. You are an active participant in the field of meaningful coincidence that orchestrates these moments for millions of people across the planet. But here's where it gets even more interesting, and where most people's understanding of perfect timing completely breaks down. Most people think synchronicity is something that happens to them occasionally, like a rare gift from the universe during particularly challenging or important moments. What they don't realize is that synchronicity is actually the natural state of consciousness when it's aligned with its deeper intelligence. You've been living in synchronicity your entire life. You just haven't been paying attention. Every breath you take happens in perfect timing with your body's needs. Every heartbeat occurs in precise coordination with your circulatory system. Every thought arises exactly when your consciousness is ready to process it. Every emotion emerges precisely when your psyche needs to integrate a particular experience. Your entire existence is one continuous flow of perfect timing. The only difference between the synchronicities you notice and the ones you don't is the quality of your attention. This is where everything changes, where the real secret of divine timing reveals itself. When you begin to recognize that you are always living in perfect timing, when you start to see that every moment of your experience is precisely orchestrated by the deeper intelligence of your being, something profound shifts in how you move through the world. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstance and start recognizing yourself as the conscious creator of your experience. You stop waiting for life to happen to you and start understanding that life is happening through you, as you, in response to the quality of consciousness you bring to each moment. This recognition changes everything, because it shifts you from a passive recipient of synchronicity to an active generator of meaningful coincidence. Think about the people you know who seem to live charmed lives, who always appear to be in the right place at the right time, who consistently encounter exactly what they need, precisely when they need it. These aren't people who've been blessed by random luck. These are people who have learned to live in conscious alignment with the flow of perfect timing that is always available. They've discovered something most people never learn: how to collaborate with the quantum field that orchestrates synchronistic experiences. And here's the practice that changes everything. The technique that transforms you from someone who occasionally experiences synchronicity to someone who lives in continuous alignment with divine timing. It starts with a fundamental shift in how you interpret your experience. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" start asking, "How is this serving my highest evolution?" Instead of resisting uncomfortable experiences, start recognizing them as perfectly timed catalysts for your growth. Instead of judging seemingly random encounters, start looking for the gift they're offering your consciousness. This isn't positive thinking. This isn't spiritual bypassing. This is quantum physics applied to consciousness. When you consistently interpret your experience as perfectly orchestrated for your awakening, you begin to vibrate at the frequency of trust, alignment, and receptivity. This vibrational state creates a resonance with the field of infinite possibility that draws increasingly synchronized experiences into your reality. You literally become a magnet for meaningful coincidence. But there's a deeper layer we need to explore. Because perfect timing isn't just about attracting what you want. It's about becoming available to receive what your soul actually needs. Most people are so focused on their mental desires, their ego's agenda, their surface level wants, that they completely miss the deeper intelligence that's trying to guide them toward their highest potential. They pray for specific outcomes. They visualize particular results. They try to force the universe to deliver according to their limited perspective. This approach creates resistance in the field of possibility because it's based on the assumption that your conscious mind knows better than the infinite intelligence that orchestrates galaxies and governs the quantum realm. True synchronicity emerges when you learn to align your personal will with cosmic will. When you discover how to want what wants to emerge through you, rather than trying to impose your small self's preferences onto the vastness of creation. This is the secret that all the masters throughout history have pointed toward. Surrender is not giving up. Surrender is tuning in to the frequency of your highest possibility and allowing that to guide your choices, your attention, your energy. When you live from this place of aligned surrender, synchronicity becomes your natural state because you're no longer creating resistance between what you want and what wants to emerge. You become a clear channel for the intelligence that knows exactly what you need, exactly when you need it, exactly how to deliver it in the most perfect way possible. Take a moment and comment below with this phrase, "I am ready to receive what wants to emerge through me." Not because I'm asking you to, but because this declaration shifts something in the quantum field. It signals your readiness to collaborate with the deeper intelligence that orchestrates perfect timing. It's a conscious interruption in the loop of trying to force outcomes and an opening to the flow of what wants to happen. Now, let's explore what happens when you begin to live from this state of aligned awareness, because the implications go far beyond personal synchronicity. When you're operating from the frequency of trust in perfect timing, you begin to notice something remarkable about the people and situations that appear in your experience. They start reflecting back to you a quality of consciousness that matches your internal state. This isn't law of attraction in the way most people understand it. This is quantum field resonance. Your consciousness literally begins to attract people, opportunities, and experiences that vibrate at the same frequency of awareness you're embodying. If you're living in fear, doubt, and resistance, you magnetize people and situations that amplify those frequencies. If you're embodying trust, openness, and alignment, you draw experiences that reflect and strengthen those qualities. But here's the profound part. As you consistently choose alignment with perfect timing, as you train your consciousness to recognize the intelligence that orchestrates meaningful coincidence, you don't just improve your own experience. You become a catalyst for synchronicity in other people's lives. You become one of those people who shows up at exactly the right moment with exactly the right words. You become someone whose presence creates space for others to recognize the perfect timing in their own experience. You become a living demonstration of what it looks like to trust the deeper intelligence that governs all things. This is how consciousness evolution actually works. It's not a solo journey, it's a collective awakening, where each person who embodies a higher frequency of awareness contributes to the morphic field that makes that frequency more accessible to everyone. Your recognition of perfect timing in your own life creates a resonance that helps others recognize perfect timing in theirs. Your trust in synchronicity strengthens the field of meaningful coincidence for the entire planet. If what I'm sharing is touching something deep in your awareness, if you can feel the truth of these concepts landing not just in your mind but in your body, in your knowing, then I invite you to subscribe not just to this channel, but to this frequency of conscious collaboration with divine timing. Because this conversation, this exploration, this recognition, it's not just content you're consuming. It's a field of consciousness you're joining. A community of people who are discovering how to live in conscious partnership with the quantum intelligence that orchestrates all things. Now, there's something else we need to address about perfect timing that most spiritual teachings completely overlook. Something that will transform how you navigate the inevitable challenges and difficulties that are part of every human experience. Most people think that living in alignment with divine timing means everything becomes easy, that synchronicity eliminates struggle, that perfect timing means getting what you want when you want it. This understanding misses the deeper intelligence of how consciousness evolution actually works. Sometimes perfect timing delivers exactly what you don't want, at exactly the moment you don't want it. Sometimes synchronicity brings the breakdown that catalyzes the breakthrough. Sometimes the universe's perfect orchestration looks like loss, challenge, or disruption from the perspective of your surface mind. This is where most people's trust in divine timing breaks down. When life delivers experiences that don't match their preferences, they assume they've fallen out of alignment, that they've somehow broken their connection to the flow of perfect timing. But what if the opposite is true? What if the most profound synchronicities are often disguised as disruptions? What if perfect timing sometimes means receiving exactly the catalyst you need to evolve beyond your current limitations, even when that catalyst comes wrapped in difficulty? The mystics throughout history have understood this principle. They recognize that the soul's agenda for growth often looks different from the ego's agenda for comfort. They discovered that the deepest awakenings often emerge through what appears to be breakdown, confusion, or loss. This recognition transforms how you interpret challenging experiences. Instead of seeing them as evidence that something's gone wrong, you begin to see them as signs that something deeper is going right. When you begin to shift your awareness, you move from passively noticing synchronicities to actively generating them. Consider those people in your life who seem effortlessly aligned, always in the right moment, always encountering exactly what they need. It's not random luck. It's a reflection of their alignment with an invisible current of divine timing that's always available. These individuals have tapped into something most overlook, a dynamic partnership with the quantum field that choreographs meaningful coincidences. And there's a practice that makes this shift real. There's a method that turns sporadic synchronicity into a sustained way of living. It begins with a radical reframe and perception. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you ask, "How is this shaping my highest growth?" When difficulties arise, you stop resisting and start recognizing them as precisely timed catalysts for your transformation. When seemingly random people or situations appear, you stop judging and start looking for the deeper message they bring. This isn't wishful thinking. It's not bypassing reality. It's quantum awareness applied to everyday consciousness. When you train yourself to see your life events as deliberate parts of your evolution, you shift your frequency to trust, coherence, and receptivity. And from this new vibrational state, you enter resonance with a field of limitless potential, one that responds with more and more meaningful alignments. You become magnetic to purposeful coincidence. But there's another layer to this that runs deeper. Divine timing isn't just about attracting what your mind desires. It's about becoming available to what your soul actually needs. Most people are fixated on ego-based wants, chasing specific outcomes, trying to script the future, but this creates resistance in the quantum field. Why? Because it's built on the idea that the conscious mind knows better than the infinite intelligence behind creation itself. True synchronicity arises when your personal will merges with the larger cosmic current, when you begin to align with what life wants to express through you, rather than trying to force your agenda onto it. This is the quiet truth that spiritual masters have echoed throughout time. Surrender isn't about defeat, it's about attuning yourself to a higher current, one that's always guiding you toward your most expansive potential. When you live from this attunement, synchronicity becomes your default. Resistance disappears between your desires and life's unfolding intelligence. You become a clear channel, open, aligned, responsive, able to receive exactly what's needed at the precise moment it's meant to arrive. In the most elegant form, pause and declare this aloud. Or in the comments, I am ready to receive what wants to emerge through me, not as an obligation, but as an activation. This statement disrupts the habitual loop of forcing outcomes and opens a portal for life to flow through you with clarity and grace. Let's look at what begins to happen when you inhabit this field of conscious collaboration. When you move through life resonating with trust in divine timing, you begin to notice a profound shift in your external reality. The people you meet, the opportunities you attract, the moments that unfold, they start to mirror your inner state. This isn't simply law of attraction in its pop culture sense. This is quantum resonance. Your consciousness vibrates at a specific frequency, and the field responds in kind, sending back experiences that harmonize with your state of being. If you carry fear, doubt, or resistance, you'll see more of that reflected around you. But when you embody trust, openness, and alignment, the field matches that, amplifying those very qualities in your reality. And here's where it gets truly powerful. As you live more consistently in harmony with divine timing, you don't just transform your own life. You become a synchronistic force in the lives of others. You become the one who arrives just when someone needed support, the one whose words land at just the right moment. Your presence becomes a transmission, activating alignment and clarity in those around you. You become a living example of what it looks like to flow with the intelligence behind everything. This is what collective evolution looks like. It's not a solo path, it's a resonance field. As more people embody higher states of consciousness, it becomes easier for everyone to access them. Your trust in divine timing doesn't just benefit you, it elevates the whole. It strengthens the field of meaningful coincidence for others to tap into. Your realization helps others realize. So if something in this message is resonating, not just intellectually, but in your body, in your inner knowing, then I invite you to go deeper, not just by subscribing to a channel, but by subscribing to this state of being. Join a wave of beings learning to recognize the divine orchestration in their lives. People who are no longer trying to control reality, but instead partnering with it, because this isn't just information you're consuming, it's a field of awareness you're entering, a shared space of co-creation with the deeper forces at work behind the scenes. Now, let's acknowledge a truth most spiritual teachings bypass when talking about divine timing. The assumption is often that living in alignment means everything becomes effortless, that synchronicity is always joyful, that divine timing always gives you what you want. But this isn't the full picture. Sometimes perfect timing delivers exactly what you don't want, at exactly the moment you don't want it. Sometimes synchronicity looks like a breakdown, because that breakdown is what cracks you open to a breakthrough. The universe's timing may appear harsh or chaotic when viewed from the surface level of the ego, And this is where most people lose faith. When things get hard, they assume they've fallen out of alignment. But what if the opposite is true? What if the most pivotal synchronicities in your life are disguised as disruptions? What if your soul's greatest invitations arrive dressed as discomfort? The mystics knew this. They understood that the soul is here to grow, not just to feel comfortable, and that growth often comes through the very challenges the ego tries to avoid. The most profound awakenings are often born from collapse, confusion, and loss. But when you see these experiences through the lens of soul evolution, everything changes. Thank you so much for listening. If you feel that you got something out of it, please consider joining my channel so that I can continue to grow. By doing so, you become more than a subscriber. You become part of a community of like-minded people searching for truth and love. See you in the next video.